back to my channel, Kai's Life. If you noticed, I did change my profile. I've changed it multiple times. But this one will probably stay for a while. I just wanted to do an update because a little while ago I did a video on my heart condition, and I wanted to just do an update about that and about that whole situation. So it's just kind of like a recap. If you haven't seen that video, you can go check that out. I don't know if I'll be able to link it in the description. I'll probably put it in end cards or something. But to start off, I've had a heart condition my whole life. I was born with a hole in my heart, and I had to have open heart surgery like a little bit after I was born. I had papers that had like all the information about my condition. I thought I had them here, but I don't think I do. So, well, I was going to explain like what they did when I had surgery, but I have to have papers for that because it's kind of hard to remember. I don't think I have them here right now, so I did explain it in my other video that I did about my condition. Anyways, this video is just more of an update about that. So I think it was around October last year. I don't remember the exact date, but I had to have a stress test done. And for those of you who don't know what that is, basically it's where you're on like a treadmill that speeds up on different levels, but also goes at an incline. Hold on. I can't. Goes at an incline. But the faster and faster you go, and the more steep of an incline you're at, it's harder to breathe. Like, you gotta work really hard to like try and breathe. But anyways, I had a stress test done because I have extra beats whenever I'm just doing like regular, like everyday things, like just walking or just sitting there doing not really anything. There'll be extra beats, but when I'm exercising hard, like doing a lot of exercise, it's normal. Like, it doesn't have extra beats. So I had to have the stress test done so they could figure out like what was going on and what there possibly could be that would cause that. But they were thinking I had an extra electrical pathway, I think is what it was. They weren't sure, so around, I think it was December last year, I had to have a cardiac MRI, and I had to be like completely still. I couldn't move at all, but I had like a big like a scanner thing up on my chest, and I had to stay completely still in the MRI machine for like 2 hours. It was tough. They were having me do like breathing tests, so then I have to like breathe in, hold it, breathe out, and I had to do that multiple times. It got to the point where I had to, I think the MRI was like done, but I had to get out of the machine because it was like I was starting to get like really hot and started to get kind of hard to breathe because you're just in this enclosed machine thing that you gotta stay like completely still, and when you're doing breathing tests, it's harder to breathe and it's really hot in the machine, so that makes it even harder to breathe. And then for me, I had that big, since it was a cardiac MRI, which MRI scan of your heart, um, to see like how it beats and just like what, like how like the rhythm is. Uh, but uh, I was having to stay with like the big scanner thing on my chest. That was kind of like a heavy thing. I had to stay completely still, hands to my side, feet like together. I couldn't move at all. I had to stay laying down like that for like 2 hours, I think is what it was. But yeah, it got a little bit like too hard, so they had to end it. But I like sat out and I was fine. I think it was just because it was hot, hard to breathe, started to get anxiety. And going back to my stress test that I had, I was at stage, I think it was level 6, like stage 6 of the stress test, where it gets up like faster and then goes at a steeper incline, and there's 7 stages. I got up to 6, I think. Either I might have gone up to 7, but I think it was 6. But I was just like, I could not breathe. Like, it was just like really hard because you have to run like, because it starts out with just like slow walking, and then it gets up to like normal walking. Then it gets into this really, like the next stage is this really weird one where it's like halfway between walking and jogging. So then the next stage is jogging, and then the next one you're like in between jogging and sprinting, I think. And then the next one is like sprinting, and then if that's all, there might have been one more stage. But anyways, but I got up to like where I was like running like really fast, trying to keep up, but I just was like holding onto the bar, like I could not keep grip of that bar, and then all of a sudden my leg like gives out, like I almost fell, and I felt like I was gonna pass out because of because it was so hard to like keep up with it. I had to do that whole stress test with needle in, just in case if I were to like pass out, then there would be something that I could be given like to help stabilize everything. But yeah, I started getting like really dizzy on the last stage that I did, and then I fell. I almost like I started to fall backwards, but there was people like doctors there behind me. But I also had like, if you know what a EKG is or ECG, whatever. But if you know what that is, that's what I had to have hooked up. And excuse me. I had to have the IV in with the EKG wire things at the same time of doing the stress test, so running and going at an incline. It gets faster and faster every stage. But yeah, I was just sitting there, and then after that I was dehydrated for the rest of the day, basically, because they said that you couldn't eat anything or drink anything. Yeah, so I was dehydrated after that. But I mean, obviously I'm fine now. And so after the stress test and the MRI and just more information like from like the little monitor thing that I was wearing before all that, other like information that we've gotten, it has been really good. But they were expecting me to have surgery again, or I don't know if it would be surgery. I think that's what they said, but I haven't had to, and they said that it's like because what was happening was since there was the pathway, excuse me, that was like really narrow, so they went the pathway like in my heart that went to where I think it was what would like circulate like would separate like types of like blood that your heart like pumps, but they had to like it was like the pathway was like really narrow, so there wasn't like anything. So the electrical pathway, they had to like expand it. So I have a patch there. It's like there's like part of your heart that's not supposed to fill up with blood. Anyways, I think I explained this in the other video that I did. But it's not healed yet. Like the hole isn't healed like fully yet, so it's like slowly leaking, slowly filling up with blood. It's just like slowly, like very, very slowly. So they said that I'm like, because they were thinking I was gonna have to have the valve replacement, I think. But now they're saying that I'm like nowhere near that, so like it'll still be like a long time until I have to have that, even if I even have to have that done. Which, I mean, probably at some point, but not for a while. So yeah, my heart is doing well. I'm doing really well. Much better than all of us expected. I know that God is there for me, and that He'll help me through this whole situation, and just help heal my heart. I get a checkup like every year, and every time it's getting better. I've noticed I've said a lot in this video. There it is again. I'll have that other video on the screen somewhere. Probably be right there. If you want to go check that video out. So this is a few weeks after that video was recorded. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and comment down below what you want to see me upload. And just remember, if you're having a bad day, at least you have. I'll see you in my next video. Love you guys.